now the shortbread is scattered.
Yeah.
Artfully.
Well, what
nonchalantly.
happened? I was putting the shortbread on one snout, and I
So
thought,
then you thought, let's
I
carry
can
this
work
theme
with
through.
this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I carried it across. We also have hobnobs, and I thought maybe to put a hobnob in the middle.
Just one. And then no one would take it.
But I thought that would be too much, especially this time in the morning. It's early, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you stopped at the right moment, I'd say. That's perfect.
Don't want to give your best.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm impressed that you're here, but so early as well. That because you
So
must
are
be.
we? Aren't we? Yeah.
Well, I mean, every year before this, we've been doing early doors. Our shows have been like midday. This year we're 4:30.
Which is the time for sketches, really.
Yeah, it's
isn't
amazing.
It's
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's really
brilliant.
good.
It's good.
But so you're used to the early mornings, so you're used to getting up and.
I mean, we both hate getting up in the morning. It's been a struggle
It's completely
every year.
against all our instincts.
Yeah, I mean, really.
But somehow we did it.
We did it somehow. I mean, we did feel like death, didn't we?
Yeah. You just see a different side of the Fringe, whereas this year's very nice, and we can be out in the evening and not be thinking, like a child, I must put myself to bed, for I'm up at 8.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So do you live together as well as do the show together?
In Edinburgh,
In Edinburgh, yeah. So
Oh,
that must be quite
it's
intense.
24/7.
God,
It's unbearable.
we already look similar, and then we start taking on each other's mannerisms. By the end of the Fringe, it's like we're like one person. It's exhausting.
So,
everyone.
so that's what happens. Not you don't fight. You just morph into the same person.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's an endless compromise until we're one.
Yeah, exactly. But that's fine. That's all right. That's okay. No.
It's just because I couldn't imagine you fighting at all. You just seem so lovely, but I didn't know behind closed doors.
Absolutely vicious.
You might be.
Off. Yeah, this scratch on my face, that was from the...
We kind of do...
fairly civil.
Yeah, we're civil. No, we get on.
No, we do, yeah.
We've known each other a long time. We've known each other since we were 16.
16 years old.
Yeah.
And was it a performance relationship from the offset, or was it friendship and then morphed into...
Purely academic to begin with.
Fee had no friends at school. I knew a bit longer. She joined in sixth form.
It was a lonely time for me.
There we are. Take that one under my wing, because I had no friends either, and it worked out fantastically. 5 long years with no friends, and then along she came. Yeah, it was purely academic, wasn't it?
Okay,
Yeah.
were you quite smart kids then? You were quite...
We were. I think it would be fair to say that we were geeky. I think that would be fair to say.
That's very fair.
Slightly.
Okay.
We did our homework,
Yeah.
you know.
I did my homework
you
as
did your
well,
homework.
and I
And
think,
look where we are now. Yeah.
and I think, yeah, when people get older, they kind of appreciate that when they've done their homework, it's been a good thing. You know,
Oh, it's much better. Yeah, I'm glad I'm glad I was in braces and doing my GCSE coursework.
Yeah, me too.
and not having fun. I'm
God,
glad I had it.
So when did the sketch start? When did you become an item, as it were?
It was, what was it, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. We
I don't know which of us should speak.
No,
It's difficult, isn't it?
basically we
Not
both
scripted.
we both went to drama school, so
Yeah.
and were actors, and then we started writing together and performing, and then we just thought we'd do Edinburgh, and from then we've just
Yeah.
And you've done
This is it.
3 now, is it?
this is our third.
This is your
yeah.
third one, and
Yeah.
it's Croft and Pearce. That's what
Yeah.
you've called it.
Yeah.
Did you
Very original.
did you think about
imaginative.
coming up with a really kind of contrived punny title, or
We tried, even for a name for ourselves, we went round, to think of an interesting double act name, and then we just decided that it's so easy to sound like a prat. So we thought
Yeah.
we'd just go with
Yeah.
our surnames, which makes it sound a bit like a law firm. I think, Croft and Pearce.
Accountants, it's very
Yeah.
straight.
if it doesn't work out, you can go into other areas,
Exactly.
or it can be Croft and
Yeah.
Pearce with lots of different things. You could do all
Exactly.
sorts.
Yeah,
with that
we were
name.
thinking hedge fund. We're just going to go for
Yeah,
big
yeah.
bucks next.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
really what we're after.
Change life, sell our souls. But yeah, so for the title for the show, this year it doesn't have a title. It's just Croft and Pearce. Because we're
just getting the brand out there at this stage.
yeah,
Okay,
we
okay.
thought about a lot of titles, and we hadn't written the show completely at the time we were writing the title. And we came up with titles that were very linked to the show at the time in its state, which I'm really glad we now didn't call our show.
Look at
It's our
these
show.
dogs.
Hello.
Oh my god.
We're going to join in. There's another double act.
They're incredible.
A lot of biscuits. A
I'm
lot of
in love,
biscuits
I'm
for
in
you
love.
boys. Oh, I love it.
Oh,
Oh, this is hilarious. Hi there.
oh, that's brilliant. Love them.
They're sort of like gremlins.
Oh, I love it. Things you make a fuss of them, and then they keep, and they
they'll
keep,
stay.
yeah.
Exactly. Don't give them a biscuit.
The dogs that we're staying with some people, and they've got some dogs. They're like little balls of fluff. That
Oh,
it's a dog-based festival this
Which is
year.
nice.
I feel. Yeah.
Nice.
lovely.
Like a dog.
So yeah, there's no thrust to your show then. There's no kind of.
I think now we could have given it a title.
Yeah.
Now we've finished shaping it.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's purely that we had to submit in April, and we didn't want to tie ourselves down really.
Exactly. We wanted to feel free.
We had so many titles that would have been really inappropriate now.
Yeah, and we very nearly called the show those titles, didn't we?
We were going to call at one point Every Dan. The story of one man called Dan. I mean, I'm so glad we didn't call it that.
We were going to call it Go Viral, weren't we?
Yeah,
this guy, because there was this thing about virals, which we completely cut, didn't we? And Man Up. I mean, there were all sorts of titles. I'm very glad we stayed away from.
I mean, if you had the title, you'd be forced to put at least something in there relating to it,
exactly,
I guess, wouldn't you?
And it's very lucky that those ideas did and could get vetoed. At
So glad they died.
I think that's good.
But yeah, we have stories running through the show. So there are narratives, but
it's very narrative based. It's very, very sophisticated, isn't it? I mean, it's
too sophisticated.
yeah. There are so they're all individual sketches, but there are this year little links between them. Some of which are more fundamental than others, but I think you can kind of take them or leave them. The links.
Yeah, they're sort of standalone, are they?
So it's kind of a piece, but the bits stand by themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Now, where are you this year? Is it
We're Gilded Balloon.
Balloon? Lovely venue.
It's lovely.
They're looking
nice.
after you there?
Yeah.
Yes.
We were there last year as well. Yeah. It's really
the
nice
Sportsman.
there. We do like
Are
it.
you in there?
Yeah.
It's a very strange room, I find.
Because it's sort of like the bottom is one thing,
Yeah.
and then if you go to the top,
Yeah, so have you found that? Is it all right?
I quite like it because I think if you've got fewer people in, they can be in the lower section, and it doesn't feel like it's empty. Yeah.
That's true,
Because if you've got more than... I mean, people do hide up the back, and at some point when I go into the audience, I kind of look around and go, oh, there are people up there in the shadows. But yeah, it is a bit of a funny...
We like it actually just from our point of view, from a wanky performing point of view. It's quite good. There's a race stage.
We like having a race stage.
So like we don't need to worry about anyone's sight lines.
You don't like the flat and the rate. That's not...
Well, it's just
works so
often
well.
people can't see.
And yeah, exactly.
So with the sketch-based thing, I mean, there's quite a few people doing it. Do you worry about doing things original and coming up with fresh ideas? And are you worried that another sketch act down the road are going to be doing something similar, or?
It's kind of weird sometimes how these things happen. Like last year we had a handstand in the show?
Yes.
And then we went to see loads of sketch, and most sketch shows had a handstand.
There were like
in
3
them.
or 4 others. We were like, we've come up this year, and Hannah is doing a handstand. She's
It's
holding her legs.
quite
but
a
it's
moment.
It's a big thing. And then we were like, God, everyone's doing it. And we were like, oh, we thought it was so
It's
cool.
obviously like the one gymnastic move that's fairly universal.
What are you saying,
You know,
Fee?
once
It's going to be a long time.
Did you consider changing it to a cartwheel or
Couldn't do that. Couldn't have
No.
managed that.
We'd have to get you in training.
Exactly. I mean,
Trapeze.
tricky. I know. Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine? Couldn't compete with those guys. Couldn't do a full-on acrobat. That would be impressive.
Cirque du Croft and Pearce.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I guess we can't really worry about that because
Yeah.
we just have to write what we want to write and do what we find funny and
Yeah.
hope that there isn't a clone out there. I mean,
there are definitely similar ideas
there
that
are always,
we see.
yeah, and there are patterns
think-
and things in popular culture that everyone wants to
Yeah.
reference. But a lot of the time we write from things we've experienced. And I guess other people have experienced them too, but you wouldn't
you're
always
saying.
react to them in the same way.
But you are always you, aren't you? And you're always doing it from your
Yeah.
standpoint, and that's always
Yeah.
going to be unique.
You hope it's unique. You hope. Yeah, we sort of, yeah.
It's quite character-based as well, what we're doing. So I think at least the character itself is unique, even if they're referencing things that could be similar to other people. We kind of do centre it around the character as much as we can, can't we?
Would the idea of going on stage and presenting yourself be scary to you? Are the characters something you hide behind, or?
I mean, much better to hide. Much better
This is
this
very
way.
intimidating for us, this scenario. We did try in the first year doing a bit of chat, didn't we? And we've tried in other gigs in London and our residency to try kind of saying hello to the audience, and we've just decided that
Doesn't
this is
sit
a
well.
very bad idea.
Doesn't sit well.
I just think
we do something in the show where we are ourselves, but it's silent.
we
And
it's
with
written
cards. So that's kind of our voice, but we don't speak it.
That's very clever, very theatrical.
That's how we found a way around it. The problem of our own personality.
Exactly, because I think they were really off-putting to people seeing the show when we came out at the beginning. Went, hello, you know, over the top of each other, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was just.
I mean, one
not getting
day maybe
outside.
we'll find a way. We'll find ourselves,
Or,
and that will help. But
or someone else we can pretend is us. You know, some kind of
Yeah.
a voice. I don't know. We haven't really worked on our own personas.
yeah, if we could do a Beyonce and kind of find our Sasha Fierce,
Yeah,
that would
exactly.
be a dream.
That's actually a very good idea, Fee. You just coined that.
Like
I
a
think
kind
next
of
year.
a sequined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could be an excellent beginning to the show. Just need to learn to dance. I mean,
It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for the tea.
Oh, you're very welcome.
You've brightened my morning.
Oh,
First thing.
it's been lovely. Thank
Could
you.
you just where's your show and when is it? It's the
So it's Gilded Balloon every day at 4:30, except for the 14th of August.
and it's
What
called
are you doing
Croft and
that
Pearce.
day?
Yeah.
What aren't we
God, I
doing?
don't
Well,
know. Oh, God.
cross going out of town.
I'm going out of town, I think.
I thought you'd just be sleeping.
Well, I don't know. I might be going off and my husband's coming up with a tent, so we might go off and camp somewhere. It's going to be.
Adventures.
It's going to be.
She's adventurous.
He's very excited by that. I'm like, can't we just go somewhere with a big bed? But I don't know. We'll see. Just sleep all day. I don't know. Don't know what will happen. Anything could happen, couldn't it?
I fancy a spa day.
Oh, that would be
You know?
nice.
Can I join you?
Please, please, let's do it.
Right,
Bloody
lovely.
tent and you'll be in a spa.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Let's have a biscuit.
Yeah.